Hi, how are ya? Hey guys, what's up? It's Austin and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be testing out a couple new releases from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I'm sure you have guessed it by now, but today we're going to be testing out the new Magic Star Concealer, as well as the Magic Star Powder. So if you're looking for more information on these products, how they perform, and how they wear throughout the day, just keep on watching. Alright, you guys, already have my foundation and my brows already done. Just help speed up the process a little bit. Just starting off with the unicarton that the concealer comes in. Of course, it has the Magic Star written on the front. This is embossed, so it is like lifted up from the actual packaging. And as you guys can see, it is kind of holographic on the front as well. And moving on to the top, we have the shade name on the top of the unicarton. Of course, I picked up C4. I'm pretty sure that I would have been C5, but girl, somebody had to steal all the C5, bitch. I'm gonna need my shade. Alright, now let's go ahead and take this out of the packaging. This is what the packaging looks like. This is a custom component for Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I really love this little wand tip we got going on here, as well as the star on top. And then of course your Jeffree Star logo right there on the front. And just to give you a little better view of that crystal on top. I really love this packaging. It's very unique, and I've never seen another cosmetics brand, you know, come out with a unique packaging like this. Usually it's like a standard component, etc, etc. You know the drill. Alright, you guys, I'm just gonna head over to the Jeffree Star Cosmetics website and read a little bit about this concealer. Alright, it says, our unique, creamy, high coverage liquid concealer formula comes in over 30 shades. It helps even out skin tone, has 20% pigment and can cover tattoos, has anti-aging properties and helps reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and it also has increased wear time and a self-setting effect that keeps you looking flawless for hours. It is also fragrance-free, paraben-free, and talc-free. And just like I read on the website, this concealer comes in over 30 shades. I believe there are 31 shades of the concealer and then 2 color correctors. I'll put up a picture of all of the swatches of the concealers right here, just so you guys can have, you know, a visual representation of what the shade range looks like. Also, shout out to TrendMood, because I'm pretty sure I just stole your photo for this video. And then I'll also put up a picture right here that Jeffree posted on his Instagram stories. This just gives a breakdown of what all of the shades and their undertones are, you know, throughout the whole shade range. Now let's go ahead and dive into the applicator of this concealer. It's a lot different than any concealer that I've seen before. As you can see right there, it is tilted back a little bit, and this just helps you get a more precise application. And as you can see right there, there's a hole in the middle of the applicator. This just allows it to pick up a lot more product to be distributed on the face. I'm going to do a couple swatches just to show you guys that, girl, this concealer just keeps on going. She just got it all in there. Hi, how are ya? So yeah, I was able to get 4, possibly 5 full coverage swipes with the hole in the doe foot applicator. Alright, you guys, now moving on to the Magic Star setting powder. Of course, I picked up the shade Translucent, but this is the front of the unicarton that it comes in. And then on the bottom here, we have the same embossed Magic Star writing, just like we did on the concealer as well. Now I'm just going to hop over to the website and read a little bit of the description of the powder. It says, introducing our first ever setting powder formula. This ultra-fine, soft, and luxurious formula is infused with vitamin C and E with a special blend of silica that controls oil and keeps you looking flawless all day. Experience the Airbrushed Jeffree Star approved blurring effect. I'm just going to open this up and show you guys what it looks like. So this is what the packaging looks like on the powder. You have your standard Jeffree Star Cosmetics logo right here in the center, and then all of the information on the back as well. Now don't be alarmed when you open this up, because it does smell like lightly baked cotton candy. And I have been using this the past couple of days, and it doesn't stay on the face after you like brush away the excess. It's totally fine throughout the day, so you don't have to worry about that. And this powder also comes in 8 different shades. I'll put up a picture right here of the shade range that I got from TrendMood again as well. And then I also really like that on the inside of this component, it has a little sliding door type thing going on right here, just to keep all of your powder on the inside of the packaging. That way you don't have a complete mess like all of the other powders that you use. And then for the setting powder, there is 10 grams or 0.353 ounces of product in here as well. I'm going to use my little pink Jeffree Star highlighter for the mirror today, right after I clean her off. Alright, now let's go in with this concealer and put it to the test. I'm starting by going under the eyes, just a little bit. Now I have used this concealer a couple of times, And I do notice that a little bit of product goes a long way with this concealer. And I also noticed that I only have to dip in one time with this concealer. A lot of my other concealers I have to dip in, you know, 2 or 3 times just to get, you know, a full coverage of the concealer. Does that even make sense? Alright, now let's go ahead and blend this out. Now, of course, everything blended out flawlessly as expected. However, you will notice that the shade did oxidize a little bit on my skin. When I first applied it, I'm sure you were thinking it was pretty ghostly on my skin. However, after blending it out and taking a couple minutes, the shade did oxidize a little bit on the skin. Also notice that this concealer isn't a matte concealer or a dewy concealer, so it's more of a in-the-middle satin type finish. I've also been sitting here for a couple minutes and I noticed that I'm not getting any creasing under the eyes or on the face at all, and I haven't set it with powder yet. So there is definitely a leeway between applying your concealer and then having to set it with powder. Now I'm just going to go ahead and lightly set the face with the Magic Star powder. I'm using the JH01 brush, just this big ass brush. I like to use this just to lightly set my face first, and then I like to go in and bake after. I'm just taking a little bit of that Jeffree Star powder on my sponge. Just go right in and bake that under eye. I'm also going to bring this up on the sides of the nose as well, because that's where I tend to get the oiliest throughout the day. Just going to do the same thing on the other side. And then whatever's left on the sponge, I'm going to take that on the chin and the forehead as well, and a little bit on the upper lip, because that upper lip girl will be sliding off by the end of the day. We don't need any of that. Also like to just really press this powder into the skin. I have a lot of texture around my nose area. I mean, doesn't everyone have texture there? Hello. But I definitely find that this powder does actually really blur out those pores. This is like the closest I've seen to like a smooth ass canvas, girl, because I be having pores, and sometimes by the end of the day, you know, your powders and your liquids just sink into your pores. This doesn't do that. Alright, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face. Alright, you guys, this is the face all complete. I'll leave everything down below of what I used on my face today. I definitely love how my face is looking after everything else is layered on top. I'm not having any creasing under the eyes or anywhere else that I put the concealer and the powder. Also notice that my pores are drastically reduced, just like I mentioned before. That's definitely the powder, you know, sinking into the skin and blurring over those pores. I really love that effect from this powder. And everything else is looking pretty smooth. I'm not picking up any texture on the sides of my face like I usually do as well. So that's pretty good. Alright, you guys, so I finished up the powder and concealer portion around 3 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the check-in time at that. I am going to be wearing this for the rest of the day. I'm assuming 8 to 9 hours. So we'll definitely get a good wear test of this powder and concealer. I'm also not going to be touching up my makeup throughout the day, just to give you guys a full wear test of these concealers and powders. Alright, you guys, it is a little past 1 a.m., which means we've had this makeup on for about 10 hours now. Just taking a little look at the skin, and wow, I'm very impressed at how my makeup has held up today. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so we can talk about this skin, girl. I am a little oily. You guys know I have super oily skin. But I just want to show you guys how smooth that under eye looks right there. I do have a little bit of separation in the nose crease, but that's just because of my foundation. I usually get that with all of my foundations. Even up onto the nose, it's like a seamless transition. I really think that is the powder working here. That powder does a wonderful job at setting the makeup and creating like a blurring, smooth canvas all the way across the face. It's really awesome once you see it in person. I didn't have any problems with the concealer. It blended out flawlessly underneath the eyes. It didn't crease super fast like usual concealers do as well. Now also just note that the concealer did oxidize a little bit once it was blended out on the face, so it won't be like true to color out of the bottle. And then moving on into the powder, I definitely love the blurring effect that this powder gives over the skin. It just gives like a flawless airbrushed finish, just like it described. So I definitely feel like this powder does live up to its claims. However, I did feel like I got a little bit of flashback with the translucent shade of the powder. Now I'm not really sure if the fair shade or the other shades of the powder give flashback or not, but I definitely noticed flashback in the translucent one. So just be aware of that. I actually noticed the flashback while editing the first portion of this video. You can definitely see the difference in my skin before and after applying powder, and you can actually see the white cast over my face from the powder. But I also think a lot of it has to do with like studio lighting, because in natural lighting it actually doesn't look like that. So definitely be careful when baking with this, because it will give you a little bit of flashback. And I think I'm also going to be picking up the fair shade in the powder just to test out to see if that one has any flashback as well. I literally don't think my under eyes have ever looked this smooth and literally not cakey at all. And then the powder just goes in and blurs like literally all your pores, and also sets your makeup for all day wear. Like, this is literally a match made in heaven. I'm so excited for Jeffree. This is such a big launch. And both of these products held up to all of their claims as well. You know, with the concealer, it was definitely very creamy. It was very high coverage. It also didn't crease right away, right after application like the usual concealers do. And it also gives a natural finish as well. And then with the powder, it is super finely milled, which I really think helps get in and really blur out all of those pores and really get that airbrushed finish to the face. As far as controlling oils, I definitely do feel like it did a great job at controlling the oils. I also feel like this powder is a little more breathable on the skin. Now you notice that some of my oils actually did come through. However, it didn't break up any of the concealer or the setting powders. I'm just going to go back in and set the face and see if this helps with any of that excess oil that has come through. Wow, that really did a great job at touching up the makeup. Just kind of settled down all of that oiliness. And then last but not least, I actually really enjoyed the scent of this powder. Again, it smells like lightly baked cotton candy. And usually powders just kind of smell like nothing or just kind of makeup-y. So I really like the new kind of scent in a powder. That's really cool as well. Alright you guys, that is it for my review on the new Jeffree Star Cosmetics Magic Star Concealer and Powder. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next week with another new video. Bye guys.